dun, 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 dun. We have reached a world record number. The number that is after my favorite number, and that is number 19. So, let's get started on today's episode of SNN, SeanNetworkNews. Bringing you news from June 12th of 2021. And of course, our first destination, here. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome guys to Peru, and I am here with some coldness, and let's get started. So here in Peru, COVID-19 numbers have risen after a review, and the true number is said to not have been counted because there has been a lack of testing, and many more have doubled. The people who have died have doubled its official number of people who have died in COVID-19. Okay, let me restate that. Peru has more than doubled its official number of people who have died of COVID-19. I'd say they almost tripled it, but I guess it's not because 70 divided by 2. They almost tripled it. So experts said that the test number was not being counted, as I've already mentioned the reason. The country had originally counted 69,342 deaths, but now the number stands at 180,764. Anyways, let's get on with it. And our next destination is... I'm pretty sure it's Portugal, guys. Definitely Portugal. Golf. And in Portugal, there's a different story. The bicycle business has boosted by a pandemic, and the new factories are being built, and many extra people are being hired to work in Portugal's bicycle industry. And the country is starting to make more bikes than any other country in the world, manufacturing about a quarter of all the bicycles built across the continent. And the coronavirus pandemic has boosted demand for the bikes around the world. Yay! You know what? Let's not bother to go to the map. Let's just go on to Paris, France. And in Paris, France, there's new boss, the Louvre Museum. And for the first time in its 228-year history, the Louvre Museum will be led by women. And Louvre is the world's largest and most visited museum. And on May 26th, French President Emmanuel Macron named the art historian Laurence Descartes as the next president director of the museum. So this will be the first woman ever going on to the Louvre. So what? Of course it's something worthwhile. It's the first woman in the 228-year history where the Louvre gets led by a woman. I mean, I've been to the Louvre before this happened. I mean, I've been to the Mona Lisa. You probably watched my video on it. And yeah, everything is so good. Anyways, she'll start her job on September 1st. And I'm still too lazy, so let's get on with it. There's going to be a robot bot in the foreground. Hey, what the? You know what, guys? Let me go cartoon me. Bink, pook, brink, ting, hatong. Alright, so let me get this straight. Self-driving okay, it's really confusing, guys. It's rowboats, not robots. Like the armor I'm wearing right now. Pun intended. So anyway, self-driving rowboats are tested. By the way, that was not a pun. That's actually the name of the new craft that they're using. Which is what I'm going to make explode. Bing. Tick. While I'm making this explode, let's talk about rowboats. So self-driving rowboats are going to be tested. And Amsterdam is testing the self-driving electric-powered boat called the rowboat. And Amsterdam has more than 60 miles of canals, which are used for transport. The rowboat travels at around 6 miles per hour and is steered by computers using camera and sensors. It's expected to take up to 4 years to perfect the system, and then the boat will be able to carry passengers. Yippee! And I'm mad! And I'm mad that no one ever told me that was going to happen, and I know those who hate to. Hey, it turns out I can mute him. I wish I'd known that earlier. Okay, I deleted him. Let's get on with it. So here you go. We're gonna get on to Sardinia, Italy. And no, I'm not talking about sardines, although they are pretty tasty. And Sardinia, Italy, they have fines for stealing sand. So tourists have been warned not to take sand and seashells from the beaches in Sardinia, an Italian island in the Mediterranean Sea. And so more than 40 people who took a combined 100 kilograms of sand and shells have been fined for up to 2,575 euros each. And a law was introduced in 2017 to stop people from taking the items as mementos of their trip and to sell it online. Authorities are worried that it would cause the beaches to shrink. And thinking about it, it kind of makes sense. What? What? I hate you. No, wait, no. Yeah, well, sorry, dude. Wait a sec. Are you taking sand? Calling 999. Me? Oh, no. Ha! I have the power to animate. Okay, I deleted him. Let's get on with it. So then we get into Venice, Italy, where there's a cruise ship. Campaigners in Venice have protested against a cruise ship docking in the city for the first time since the start of the pandemic, saying that your ship is too big, they shouted as the 92,000-ton NFC orchestra arrived. And the campaigners say they have been deceived by the Italian government, which in March said that the large cruise ships would not be allowed to sail close to the city center, which is famous for its canals. I mean, guys, you got to respect Venice. It's such one of the greatest places ever. I've been to gondolas. I mean, so great. Let's continue. This is ambergris, by the way. That's the name. That's the type of rock, by the way. The Gulf of Aden in Yemen, there is a fortune in a whale. So a group of certified fishermen have found treasure in the carcass of a sperm whale, and this treasure was a large lump of ambergris, which is a solid waxy substance, something produced in the sperm whale's digestive systems. It is used in perfumes and in traditional medicines, and the fishermen were able to. They found it in some dead whale floating in the Gulf of Aden, and they sold the ambergris for 1.1 million euros and split the money between them. So great, guys. Alright, let's go into Sri Lanka. And there has been a cleanup after a cargo ship sinks. So their cleanup operation is still going on after a cargo ship carrying chemicals sank off the coast of Sri Lanka, and the ship called MV Express Pearl was carrying nearly 1,500 containers. On May 20th, a fire broke out and has on the ship, and it sank on June 2nd. The government has banned people from fishing along a 50-mile stretch of coastline near the ship, and the Navy is helping to clean it up. In Cambodia, a hero rat gets a well-deserved rest, as the rat, who was awarded a gold medal for his heroic work detecting landmines, is retiring. The landmines is an explosive device hidden underground that explodes when someone stands on it. So for the last 5 years, Maguana, African giant pouched rat, has sniffed out 71 landmines and other unexploded devices, saving lots of lives. Good job. I'm gonna give you a gold medal right now. There you go. In China, the government encourages more babies. The Chinese government has changed its rule on how many children couples can have. For almost 40 years, it was illegal to have more than one child in China to stop the population from getting too big. In 2016, the law was changed to 2 children, but there are still 2 young people. So now China has changed the rule to 3. I mean, I've seen a lot of Chinese babies. I mean, I was friends with one once, and I'm pretty sure he's grown up by now. I've seen a lot. I said hi to those babies a lot too, and I guess young people are a bit good because they can rule the next generation anyway. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Shut on out.